But recently, there's been theories claiming that celebrities are secretly being cloned and replaced. And these theories have been around for a very long time, claiming multiple celebrities are secretly clones.
Nicki Minaj is gearing up to expose the real truth behind those long-running rumors about Gucci Mane being replaced. And let me tell you right now, if she actually spills what she knows, she better keep her security on standby, because the people up top are not going to like this. Gucci walked into jail one version of himself and walked out looking like he'd been completely rebooted. And the streets have been whispering that Kesha wasn't just his wife during all of this. She was allegedly placed in his life as a handler. Conspiracy circles have been pushing this narrative for years, and it's starting to look like they weren't as crazy as people said. Nicki and even Gucci's ex tried to warn folks way back then, but they were dragged to oblivion for it. Now that new information about Gucci keeps resurfacing, people are digging up everything Nicki said, and suddenly it's sounding a little too accurate. The clone rumors really took off back in 2013, right after Gucci spiraled on Twitter. He went off on everyone, claiming he'd been with Nicki Minaj, claiming he'd been with Black China, kicking Waka Flocka out of Brick Squad for betraying him, and accusing Yo Gotti of being a mole. Everybody could tell he was deep into substances at that point. Right after the Twitter meltdown, he was back in the headlines again, this time for getting arrested after allegedly threatening people in traffic. He resisted the police, fought back, and when they finally detained him, they found a gun and hard drugs. And this wasn't some isolated moment. Just months earlier, he'd been arrested for cracking a champagne bottle over a man's head in a nightclub. Gucci was spiraling fast, and the system clearly decided they needed to fix him ASAP. He got 3 years behind bars, but only ended up serving 2 because of good behavior. During that time, he finally admitted what everyone already knew. He had been battling an addiction for over a decade. He posted a series of tweets saying he woke up in a hospital bed, feeling ashamed, apologizing to his family, fans, and the industry, saying lean had destroyed him and that he barely remembered half the things he'd done. He promised to get help and go to rehab. And whatever help he got in there changed him. Because the Gucci who came out didn't look like the Gucci who went in. He went from bloated to shredded. His voice sounded different. His whole energy felt like it had been reset. People couldn't decide if he'd simply turned his life around or if something else had happened. Around that same time, rumors started spreading that Gucci had actually died in prison and been replaced. Supposedly, some of his old cellmates started that story themselves. And then things got even weirder when rapper Hobson got on Instagram and publicly claimed to be Gucci's clone. Before he said that, fans were already joking that he resembled Gucci's replacement. But no one thought he'd take it that far. According to Hobson, some shadowy agents approached him, threatened his family, and forced him to help cover up Gucci's supposed death by stepping in as his clone.
I've been personally playing for about 8 years now. It started around around Illmind 5 when that came out, because the song was so big, and then they told me I had to kind of sacrifice something. They said you're gonna have to pay it back because he just put this information out there, and this is gonna put people in the wrong mindset of what we're trying to do in society. So they told me that if I don't do these list of things, then they're going to hurt my family. It was like an all white room, and they opened one of the doors, and it had a Gucci suit. A Gucci bodysuit. And I said, oh no, please don't tell me that is what I think it is. They said, yeah.
And when I saw it, I said, oh no, please don't let this be what I think it is. They looked right at me and said, it is. But listen, this story gets way darker. Gucci's ex, Mac Brazy, poured gasoline on the cloning rumors when she hopped on Instagram Live and claimed straight up that Gucci didn't survive prison, and that the version who walked out was a replacement. She said the moment she saw him after his release, she knew instantly that wasn't the same man. And when she confronted Kesha about it, Kesha allegedly brushed her off like she was delusional, like she imagined the whole thing. But Mac Brazy didn't stop there. She dropped an entire diss track just 2 weeks ago, calling Kesha out and accusing her of hiding what really happened to Gucci, and hinting that she was part of something way bigger than anybody realized. And here's the thing. If these accusations are true, this might be one of the biggest cover-ups hip-hop has ever seen. If you want the full story, the real receipts, and the part nobody is talking about yet, you need to keep watching. Drop a comment if you think Gucci was cloned or if you believe this whole thing is cap. Hit follow because the next part will expose everything they don't want you to hear.
Cause girl, you don't even know the real Gucci. Y'all think y'all know the real Gucci. Y'all don't know the real Gucci. That nigga was parading around out here, that ain't the real Gucci, man. That's not him. I don't know what the fuck, honestly. Like, last time I seen Gucci was at Patchwork Studio in 2010. Cold Blooded was there. Was Mojo there? Yeah, I think Mojo, Cold Blooded. Like, this the last time I saw Gucci in the flesh, but even that was
free Gucci. You thinking what I'm thinking? Man, something ain't right. Gucci, is you in there? It's so blank twice. Wake up.
He said something felt off. Like it wasn't really Gucci behind those eyes. Everything seemed empty. Gucci eventually responded to the clone rumors himself, and here's what he had to say. He explained that he felt like he had evolved, almost transformed into a new version of himself. He talked about letting go of his old habits, maturing and becoming someone he was proud of. He said he loved who he used to be, who he is now, and who he's becoming. Gucci shared that he focused on losing weight, taking better care of his body, changing his mindset, and distancing himself from anything or anyone that wasn't good for him. According to him, that is the big transformation everyone finds unbelievable. But to him, it makes perfect sense. Then things took another turn when Nicki Minaj jumped in and exposed Kesha for allegedly being Gucci's handler. Nicki spoke up after Kesha randomly mentioned her during an interview on The Breakfast Club. Accusing Nicki of not giving Gucci credit for helping her career, Nicki was not having it, especially since she has acknowledged Gucci's role multiple times. Nicki went on Twitter and accused Kesha of being a paid handler placed in Gucci's life to spend his money and keep him controlled. She even dragged Charlemagne into it, accusing him of helping the industry tear down Wendy Williams the same way Kesha is allegedly helping them manage Gucci's supposed clone. Nicki said Kesha had been trying to imitate her for years and only stayed around to keep Gucci sedated. She claimed Charlemagne was connected to Jay-Z and using iHeartRadio to push disgusting agendas against innocent people. Nicki reminded everyone he was close to Wendy before her downfall. She ended her rant saying, "The truth stops with her," and warned that people didn't truly understand who she was. She demanded answers from the LAPD about why her home had been swatted 4 times while her toddler was inside. From the way Nicki was talking, it sounded like she knew a lot more than she was saying. Things were getting chaotic fast, and hopefully she has protection, because the kind of information she's hinting at is exactly what the industry tries to keep quiet. One person commented saying, "Gucci's ex has been saying for years that the guy we see now isn't him. She's known him longer than anybody." The clone never visits Gucci's family or old friends because they'd immediately realize it's not really him. In interviews, his wife directs him on what to say. She's clearly his handler. Another person wrote, "The real Gucci died in prison. His cellmate or someone close to him even came out and said it. And that person supposedly passed away too."